A tyre fitter from Perth has been fined over $63,000 from the ATO for lodging fraudulent tax returns. Let's talk about this. So a number of years ago, back in 2021, 2022, you might have heard that there was a scam doing the rounds predominantly on Facebook about putting some details into your tax return. One of them was actually putting your birth certificate details in as a deduction, and all of a sudden you got all of your tax back. You might have heard about this. Basically, what taxpayers were told to do was to lodge an amendment, put in as a deduction a random number, which apparently was found on your birth certificate. And what happened was this deduction would then mean that all of your income that you received, you were then claiming a deduction for that same amount of income. So this tyre fitter, his name is Jamie. His name has been released to the media. He's from Perth. He got contacted by a friend a couple of years ago. This was back in 2022. And he assumed that this person either was a tax agent or had some tax knowledge. And this person said to him, obviously for a fee, let's lodge amendments on your previous tax returns, 19, 20 and 21. So he was able to actually lodge those amendments. It was in that time period. So he lodged amendments and got all of his tax back. Well, the ATO intervened and they actually audited his 2022 tax return and stopped the refund of 2021. Now you can imagine how much of a refund he got. Like we're talking over 35,000 for every year. The ATO then audited him. He then went back to his previous tax agent and said, oh my gosh, what have I done? So the ATO, on top of asking for all of his refund money back, which of course they're going to do because they were not legitimate deductions, and Jamie did say, I've made a mistake, I've been a victim of a scam, these were not my deductions. The fact is, the ATO not only asked for all of those refunds back, fraudulent refunds back, they've also then penalised him over $63,000 in penalties over those 3 years. Basically, the ATO said, and I'm just going to have a read of this, he failed to convince the tribunal he was a victim of a scammer and was not liable for the penalties ordered by the Commissioner, as he had not discharged the burden on proving that the penalties were excessive, otherwise incorrect. He turned around and did say, look, this was basically going to bankrupt him. He couldn't afford to pay these penalties. Please be lenient on him. The ATO have stood their ground. The Commissioner has said, no, you've done the wrong thing. You knew you were doing the wrong thing and you are now going to pay the price. So if you ever hear of any scams like this, avoid it. These things do not exist. And this is a ramification of what happens when something is too good to be true.